Arguments in a case against a Georgia woman accused of tracking down and killing a man who left the scene of an accident. Atlanta News First reporter Chelsea Beimfohr live outside the Clayton County Courthouse tonight. And Chelsea, for those who are not familiar with Hannah Payne's trial, attorneys did not hold back in their opening statements.
Sean, they certainly did not. This has been a long time coming. After a series of delays, this trial finally got started today, 4.5 years after a man was shot and killed.
On May 7th of 2019, defendant Hannah Renee Payne had the audacity to chase, corner, detain, assault, shoot, and kill an unarmed 62-year-old Kenneth Herring.
Passionate opening statements today in the Hannah Payne murder case. Payne is accused of shooting and killing 62-year-old Kenneth Herring after he left the scene of an accident near the Atlanta airport in May of 2019.
Tragic situation because one man has lost his life and the other person has lost their chance to ever really live a normal life.
Lawyers say Payne followed Herring after witnessing him run a red light, hit an 18-wheeler, and drive away. Prosecutors argued Wednesday she ignored instructions from dispatchers who told her not to engage with the driver.
Because she tells that 911 operator, well, I'm not going to follow him.
Instead, Payne approached Herring. A struggle ensued, and prosecutors say that's when Payne pulled out a gun and shot Herring. Payne's attorney, Matt Tucker, argues his client acted in self-defense.
She has no malice intent. She's never seen anything like that.
The judge also began calling witnesses today. First up, off-duty state correctional officer Terry Robinson, who drove up on the scene. He testified that Herring seemed, quote, out of it, and that's why he called 911 for an ambulance in case Herring was having a medical problem.
I noticed his eyes were glassy. Was he going through a diabetic situation or whatever? I didn't smell any alcohol on him.
And Herring's family and lawyers say that he was having a diabetic episode at the time of the incident, but Payne's lawyers argue there is no proof. Reporting live in Clayton County, Chelsea Beimfohr, Atlanta News First.